everybody. Today we're getting together with Dror Liwer. He is the co-founder of Coro, and Coro is a very renowned security solution that we actually utilize for our own business. Plus, we have this for a lot of our clients and things of that nature. And so we just want to really take some time to get to know Coro and get a little more understanding of the solution, how it's applicable in the different vertical markets, and again get to know Dror and his team. So Dror, thank you so much for your time today, and just please tell us about you, your background a little bit, and then lead on into Coro and how you guys are changing the industry from a security perspective.
Wonderful. Well, wait, first of all, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. So by way of background, I'm Dror. I'm one of the founders here at Coro. Historically, I was the CIO of the Israeli military police, and I actually investigated the very first computer crimes that occurred back then. This is how old I am when we still call them computer crimes. So I come from, and I ran service organizations as well. I ran IT service organizations prior to starting Coro. So I come from both sides, both from a practitioner side, where I understand the pain of providing cybersecurity to clients, protecting small businesses, but also in today's world, where I'm a co-founder of a company that is focused on bringing cybersecurity to the SMB market. I have a very good perspective on both ends of it.
Wonderful. Okay, that's an amazing background. It leads right on into why you do what you do. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So as at Coro, we have a purpose. Our purpose is to protect every small and mid-sized business in the world from cyber attacks. And the way we do this is we obsessively build the most intuitive and effortless cybersecurity platform on earth. And the way we get to those customers is through our partners. We have wonderful partners that service these small and mid-sized businesses all around the world, and they actually offer our service to those SMBs. And by doing so, they do two things. One is they're doing something good for the world, protecting those that need it the most.
Sure.
SMBs are the number one priority for cyber attackers today. In 2023, it was the first year where more attacks were targeted at SMBs than the enterprise. And the reason is the attackers, the criminals, know that it's easy money.
Absolutely.
So that's where they're going there. And in my point of view, and every single employee here at Coro, the SMB market, which produces 63% of the GDP, 70% of employment, 99% of companies in the world are SMBs, and yet the entire cybersecurity industry completely ignores them.
Absolutely, that's true.
And we are on a mission. We are on a mission. We don't really focus at all on the enterprise market. We are all about the small and mid-sized businesses and the companies that service them. That's all we care about.
That makes sense. That's and focusing on that lets you enhance and keep those services focused and I'm sure very economical as well.
Yeah, very good point. So when we look at the SMB market and the companies that service that market, we look at four key aspects that must exist to be able to deliver extremely powerful cybersecurity to these companies. One, it has to be, instead of being a hodgepodge of numerous different products, it has to be one product. And that's why we've built a platform that covers everything from user security to endpoint security to network to cloud to email to data, everything in a single platform that uses one endpoint agent, that uses one pane of glass. So that's one thing, simplicity. Two, it has to be interoperable. So all of these different tools need to work together seamlessly.
Right.
Three, it has to be as effortless as possible. Our customers and our partners that service those customers have very lean teams. We call them small teams with big responsibilities.
Right.
And therefore, we needed to offload as much of the work from humans to machines. And last but not least, it has to be affordable
Oh,
because
yes.
we don't want to create a barrier to buy what we offer today. You would need to spend anywhere between $100 to $140 per user per month.
Right.
We offer it at a fraction of that cost to make sure that both our partners can make money on this and grow their business by doing so, but
Right.
also that the end customer can actually afford it. Because ultimately, remember what our purpose is to protect every small and mid-sized business in the world. And if we price it too high, we price out a lot of them. And that's
Right.
not our purpose in life. Our purpose is to include them.
That makes total sense. Absolutely. And you know, in addition to the cost, which is very I mean that's meaningful. That's necessary to be affordable, obviously. But at the same time, you got to be effective. And looking at, you know, what makes Coro different, right? You know, like you said, there's thousands of security platforms that are out there. Some are focused on large enterprise and some say they can do small business, but you're right, the cost is just it's not a feasible solution. But what truly separates Coro from other even mid-market size of solutions? I know interface, you know, the way you do your interfaces, I believe you have that single interface, you've got your single agent for the endpoint. And I guess like a single engine, is that, I mean, that's kind of like what
Yes.
differentiates you, correct?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. So what differentiates us more than anything else is the fact that we built the product from the ground up for the small and mid-sized business community. We're not an enterprise product that is being shoved down their throat or a
Right.
consumer product that is being shoved down their throat if they're a SOHO, like a really micro business. We
Right.
built this product, this platform for them, and therefore we took a lot of different design decisions from a product functionality, simplicity perspective to make sure that that product does protect them in the optimal way, but with the least amount of work and with the shortest learning curve possible.
No, that makes total sense. And you have tiers, right? Like for instance, I know you've got a complete package,
Yes.
which is very affordable. I know that for a fact. But then you've also got it for, you know, like just different sizes by module. And so
Yeah.
the way you, but it's still effective 100%, no matter if they do the essentials or the full suite. It's just, I guess, to the limits as far as how you go, as far as managing and ticketing and monitoring and things of that, correct?
Yeah. So we consider ourselves the world's first modular cybersecurity platform. And the concept there is that each one of the areas could be purchased by module or by suite or complete, which includes everything in the platform. We do cover, so from a cybersecurity perspective, we looked at what does a small or mid-sized business really need from a cybersecurity perspective and remove all the noise that they don't need, that the enterprise products have, but
Yep.
they don't really need. So it's really all about protecting the user, the
Mm-hmm.
device that they're on, the network that they're using, the email that they're using, the cloud services that they're using, and the data, regardless of where the data is, whether it's on that device or in an email or in OneDrive or in Google Drive or whatever it is, or Dropbox, Box, whatever.
Right.
So, so we look at that from the perspective of we cover all of those things with a very simple to use platform. One, as you said, one endpoint agent. So the endpoint agent does your VPN, your antivirus, your EDR, your endpoint data governance, all of it in one agent. You don't need to deploy 4 or 5 different agents like with other
Right.
tools out there. You get to see everything on a single screen. And if you learn one of your modules, you've learned them all because all of the modules were designed to behave very similarly. So you learned one, and by the way, learning one takes you about 15 minutes,
Yes, it
and
does. It's very easy.
and you've learned them all. So as you add more modules in the future, and the way we talk about this is 1 + 1 = 4,
Mm-hmm.
because the modules actually talk to each other.
Makes
that
sense.
inform each other. You mentioned that there is one engine underneath it all, so it's all communicating through one engine. So, so for example, if you have our endpoint suite and our email suite, they actually communicate and learn from each other and make sure that, and therefore, it's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's the protection is 1 + 1 = 4.
Makes total sense. That makes a lot of sense. And again, like you said, easy to deploy as well. So it's very simple.
For sure. Deploying Coro normally takes about 15 to 20 minutes for the entire Coro complete, which is kind of crazy because if you compare it to other products out there where the deployment is normally weeks, if not months, with us going from 0 to 100% coverage normally takes about 20 minutes. And in sometimes it's done during a Zoom call with one of our specialists. Even if our customer is not really comfortable or if they're not cybersecurity enabled, we can have somebody onboard them, and that entire process takes minutes, not days, not months, minutes.
Yes, absolutely. And we've seen that. So it's spot on. Well, listen, as we get close to wrap up, tell me this. Can you give me any good successes? I mean, obviously you're working with hundreds, if not thousands of endpoints and clients. Give me a good success story.
Yeah, so my favorite story, so we had this university that came out actually and spoke at our SKO and were very kind. And on stage, in front of hundreds of people, Coro people, the CIO said that they had a different product. I'm not going to name names, but a very,
Sure,
very
sure.
famous product. And they replaced them with us. And they said, my guy used to spend 4.5 hours a day managing that product. And when we installed Coro, it went down from 4.5 hours a day to 5 minutes a day. And you guys catch more stuff. And I
That's
was,
awesome.
yeah, and I pulled him aside after he got off stage and I said, I understand the 4.5 hours to 5 minutes. I don't understand that we catch more stuff because that other product is very well known and a very
Right.
good product. And turns out, because that product was an enterprise product and because it was so complex,
Mm-hmm.
the configuration was just not right.
That's important.
And
Configuration is
then
important.
it's and even though that product is an excellent product, it's too complex for a
Yes.
mid-market customer, which this was a mid-sized college.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was too complex for them to manage, so it created an enormous amount of noise for them. And 4.5 hours a day, somebody had to dedicate 4.5 hours a day to
Wow.
managing it. And then when it went to our automated platform, that time went down to 5 minutes a day, and more stuff was being discovered and caught completely automatically, no human touch. So the whole concept here is that our systems don't only alert you that something is wrong, they already take care of it on your behalf.
Right.
And then they tell you what they've done. So you get a log, you get everything. Everything is very transparent. So it's not a black box. You get a log, you get to see exactly what the system did on your behalf. But the beauty is you didn't have to do it.
Right, right. Well, and to your point, configurations, everything. A lot of misconception is, oh, my firewall will do everything I need. You know, even if the firewalls are not configured correct, yeah, or doesn't have the right security endpoint protection or whatever, it's a misconception.
Absolutely.
And so this is great. This is wonderful. Well, listen, as we wrap up, anything else you'd like to say or speak about?
I'm the only thing I'd like to say, I'm very proud of our mission. We're a company with a very clear purpose. We are here to protect mid-sized and small businesses around the world. We believe that those businesses who are the backbone of the economy deserve better, and that's why we're here.
I would agree 100%. That makes a lot of sense. Dror, thank you so much for your time, and we
Thank you so
appreciate.
much, Wade, for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And listen, this is a great solution. We've seen it. We had a lot of clients using this, and we look forward to growing together. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Wade.